guys, welcome back to another deck profile video. We have my teammate Chris and his Vegex profile. Go ahead and get into it, bud.
So today we're going to be using the Vegex or the Vegeta and Trunks Xeno leader permanent. You can only include, or you can only play mono black cards in this deck. The leader effect for this, the activate main for this leader is very good because it's a burst 5 and you draw 1. In this deck, you get to play a lot of free stuff, and it lets you extend your plays a lot better than most black leaders nowadays. Also, the awakening skill is very good for early on aggro or early awakening. If you have 20 battle cards in your drop area, you get to awaken and awaken, tap 1, draw 1. Or if you have 6 cards in your life, you can flip this card over and awaken as well, tap 1, draw 1. Now for the really good side, if you have a unison card in the area, you can activate the main to draw 1, place the top 5 cards in your drop area, and your unison, your black unison gains double strike. Very good for this deck because in this deck you'll be running the 4 of the SS Gotenks Unison, which comes out for free if it gets milled from your deck to your drop area. It also gets a plus 2 markers, and you discard 1 and it gets plus 10. Or if you do the minus 4, it gets plus 20 and it gains dual attack. So you're swinging basically at a 25 dual double attack at your opponent, which is very strong. Also, for a lot of people, some people are running this at a little different, probably at 3. I solely run it at 4. It's one of my main heavy hitters in this deck, next to my Vegex, Xeno Evolves, and Pator cards. Also, I run, as to most people, I also run 4 Power Burst. Really good card, especially if you're going for something hyper aggro, maybe like Gohan, Green Gohan, which is getting played every now and then in my locals, and I like to hopefully draw into this as early as possible. That's why I have it at 4, or anything like blue.
Would you run more negates if you could?
No, I really wouldn't. I think these are good enough because the deck has a bunch of blockers. I run solely about 7 blockers in the deck, which really helps me stay alive against hyper aggro or just aggro decks in general. And it just keeps the longevity of the deck going. And I just really like the card.
Nice.
Today, I play 2 Dark Power Black Mask Saiyan. Very good card against anything that basically gets to play free, battle cards for free, basically like Vegex, Kid Ku, and also my worst matchup, which is blue, because of Abuni and how much pressure Abuni. Card is very solid against Abuni. Your opponent's gonna have to drop 2 cards for every token that they play, so it basically holds them back a turn to play Obuni, and it'll give your deck more of a chance to beat them. Very good card. Worst matchup is blue for this deck, so if you're going to be playing this deck, I would recommend running 2 of these. Very good cards. I like to play at 4 of these. Very good cards to come out and help you defensively or offensively. I like to use these cards more offensively especially when I'm running low, when my hand is running low in during my opponent's turn. It's really coming clutch for defense, or especially when I'm swinging at my opponent and they have little life, and I just go for game with this and Bibbidi. Even though Bibbidi isn't as strong as it used to be, it still comes in clutch with Supreme Kaya Time. Now we got full mission accomplished. I really run 2. I see it a lot at 2 as well. I search out a lot of cards. I don't only search out my Bibbidi super combos. I search out my Vegex, stuff. So the 7 drop, the 6 drop, just in case I want to put more pressure on my opponent or get rid of something. But like I said, for most people, they're gonna do the Bibbidi super combo, which is also not a bad card. Yes, it did get errata, but it's still a solid card at 15k power, which is going to be amazing. You can put it to your leader, to your unison, or to even your Vegex stuff. Now next, I run 3 Champa double strikes. Very good solid card in this deck because a lot of the cards that you're spamming out are mostly single strikes, and you want to put as much pressure on your opponent as early as possible. Very good solid card at 3. I ran it at 2 before, but it wasn't as good. I didn't see it as often, but 3 I see it more consistently. Trunks, the big boy,
which is the most important card of the
which
deck.
is the most important, one of the most important cards in the deck. Very good solid card, turn 1 or turn 2. You're gonna see my build is gonna be slightly, not really a big difference from most builds. If I don't see this, what I noticed that if I was only playing the burn package in this deck, if I didn't see this turn 1 or turn 2, the deck would fall over on itself. So I decided to make the deck slightly burn and slightly the Vegex package, which has done me very well the last couple of local tournaments. And I really do like to keep these at 4. If you run it at anything less than 4, the deck will have a little bit more of an issue with it, and you won't see it, and then your aggro won't be as consistent. Then you have I played 4 of the Trunks. I had it at 3 before, but I wanted to see it more often since I did add more of the Vegex package in it, and it has came out when it needed to, and I really like it. The blocker effect is really good, and the auto to take a life if you need to is also very good if you just want to add that little extra card in hand. One card can do a difference in this deck, and this card has saved my life on many occasions. It's a blocker in most decks nowadays. As you can tell, they don't run blockers, or they don't have blockers. This deck has saved me on, or these cards right here has saved me on multiple occasions against Obuni. And I'm telling you, for anybody that's looking into this deck, if you're not running specific cards, Obuni will be a problem towards this deck, or mostly any decks as well. Also, you have another big bomb, or I like to call it a big bomb in this deck, is Vegeta Reluctant Reinforcements. Very good card. You can bring it out turn 1 or turn 2, or even turn 3. Awaken. Also, very good leader auto effect when this card is played. If your leader card is Saiyan, a black Saiyan, you get to mill the top 5. So the way that I do it mostly is that I play the Trunks before I pop off leader effect. Before I do leader effect, I pop Trunks, warp the 3 cards and tap 1. I play this in rest mode. I do his effect first, his auto, mill the top 5. I didn't get anything, it's okay. There's a bigger chance that you're gonna get more stuff on board if you do these together. So you do this, top 5, you didn't get anything, it's okay. Then you do this, top 5, there's a higher chance you're gonna get something, and you get that +1 card in hand. Very good combo, very solid combo to keep your opponent on their toes, basically. I've done it where my turn 2, I had 2 of these and 1 of these. Well, this one was gone, of course. And I had 1 of these, and my opponent couldn't really couldn't do much, and by turn 3 my opponent was already dead. So very good solid card in this deck. Very strong. It's a 20k and it has barrier, so it helps to keep it on the field. In my opinion, this combo, I used to do it turn 1, even if I used to go first. I used to play it turn 1, but now I've looked at it more of this way, is that what I try to do is try to wait. If it's my turn 1, I try to wait a little bit and do it my turn 2, so I can swing with more cards on field. It's very good. I'd recommend, if it's your turn 1, to wait a little bit and then play it, because this card will be more resourceful on when you can swing with it. I used to have these at 4, but I bring it down to 3. It's a very good solid card. It's an overround 3, and it's a critical 15k. Also, an auto where if you play this card using overwhelm, you get to place the top 3 cards in your deck in the drop area. Also very, very, very helpful with this deck. You might draw into something good, or you might put into your drop area into something that you really needed, like the Vegeta. Where are you? You could play the Trunks for free from you if it gets from your from your deck to your drop area. Sorry. Also this for free, guys. Remember, it's all free in this deck. And also the 4-drop Vegeta that I'm about to pull out. This big boy right here, I play it at 4. They all come out for free, guys. Anything in this game that comes out for free, anything that comes out for free in this game, guys, is a money maker. So offer this and this with leader effect, guys. You have so many cards on board by turn 2 or 3 that your opponent can't have answers to everything. So yes, this effect with this is amazing. Also, for the burn package, like most people will be asking for most likely, I run 2 of these, which is a good solid card. But I do prefer Splintering Mind over it, because you get to pop something on the field with, which is it? Oh, let me through the word. So you get to pop anything on the field. It doesn't ignore barrier, but you get to pop something and send it to the warp. The difference between these two, of course, a lot of people get them mixed up, is that Splintering Mind is a pop auto. When this card is played, you get to warp 1 from your opponent's field, and the Sparking 7. When this card attacks, and your leader is black, you may choose 2 cards in your life, send them to your warp, and you get to choose 1 card in your opponent's life and send it to the warp as well. So if you're trying to go for game, this card is very, very good. I think it's a lot better than this card, because this card, it has a little bit more of a restriction to 19k crit, but between you and your opponent, you have to have 15 Saiyans in your drop area. Sometimes this is a little bit harder to reach compared to Splintering Mind. That's why I have the ratio at 3 and 2, but also very good cards in this deck. Really, really powerful cards in this deck as well. Can shift the game in your favor if you play correctly. Don't play these cards too early, because then they're gonna go to waste, because your opponent's gonna focus more on them, swinging at them, and you just did that whole play for nothing, and it'll go to waste. Also, if you don't have money, you could be running the Booze. It's a very good card instead of running the Apes. It's basically, if this card is in your drop area, you tap 1 energy, send a card from at the end of your turn, you send 1 card from your from your hand to your drop, and you get to draw 2, but it's all at the end of turn, guys. You cannot do this at activate main or activate battle. It has to be at your end of turn. That's why I run it at 2. It keeps my hand nice and healthy. At 4, I'm sorry. And it keeps my hand nice and healthy against decks that do draw a lot. And then this card right here, the SS3 Gohan, it's a blocker and it's a permanent, only 1 can be on the field, but the auto is the reason why I play this card at 3, and it's a very important card, is because when one of your black battle cards is removed from your battle area by a skill, this card comes out for free. Like I said, anything that can be played for free is amazing in this game, especially with what's being played now in the meta, and it'll really help you out against decks that are heavy hitters. Really good, solid card. Now the Vegex package, I run 2 of the Vegex Space Time Synthesis, 2 of the Vegex Champ cards, and then 3 of the big boy 30k Double Strike. It all depends. I've seen people run this at 3 and this at 2, or vice versa, this at 3 and this at 2. This, I've seen it plenty of time in this ratio, and it helps me out a lot, where turn 2 or even turn 3, I can see this and just go off and put more pressure early as possible. Now, this does help you out, and this is a little bit better to bring out, because you can play it from your warp, or you can Union Patora through warp, and this you really can't. But this gets played for free if your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you have no cards in your battlefield. So just depends on how you want to see it. This card is very good. Also, remember, on the auto in this card, when it gets played, it brings out, or you can add something from your warp to your hand that's for an energy cost of 4 or less. Very good, solid cards. Also, you will have the big boy, the Double Strike 30k. This card is at 3 because this card is too good. It's like I said, it's a Double Strike 30k, and it's a Xeno Evolve for free. And also, when this card swings, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards. And with an energy cost, no, I'm sorry. Any battle card that does not ignore barrier, but any battle card in your opponent's field, and you send it to the warp anytime you swing with this card. Very strong, solid card in this deck. I've changed this ratio a lot of times. The 3 just feels correct. I see it a lot. Very good, solid card. For a lot of people trying to test out Vegex, and I'd say give it a try. It's a very good card. It's a very good deck in general in this meta. Even with the errata that Bibbidi just got hit, it's a still very solid deck in this format, especially with what's being played. Blue will be your worst matchup because of the counterplay Trunks and Obuni. But like I said,
what else would you add if you could add? If you had infinite money, what would you add?
Oh my god, what wouldn't I add? I would add Koitsukai at probably 2 or 3, and Protector of People. I'd probably put this. I would probably run this down a little bit more and put more Protector of People, and then if I could fit in Koitsukai, I would as well. It's just all depends on how your play style is. Don't try to copy other. I wouldn't say don't try to copy, but just because somebody big or somebody made it with the tournament doesn't mean you can add your own little spice to the deck that could also win. Also, yeah, just play what you think is best. I think Vegex is gonna be a top meta deck even this set coming up because of how strong it still is.
Are you going to keep the Bibbidi super combo, or are you going to change to the new set 11 super combo?
It all depends. A lot of people are saying stay with Bibbidi or do a 2-2 split. Me personally, I want to switch over to the new super combo to add more cards to hand. Maybe do a 2-2 split, or just put 3-1 split, or just do the new super combo in general. Run it at 4. It's a good card, even though this deck awakens at 6. So it's all up to everybody else what your playstyle is. If you want to put more aggro, run with the Bibbidi. But if you want to have more cards in hand, run the new Vegeta super combo. But like I said, it's all up to your playstyle and what you like to play. At the end of the day, it's what you have most fun with, and that's what people got to remember.
All right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Of course.